Hello, everybody. Well, this is a special video for our 100th subscriber, whoever you may be. Today I got an email saying, you have hit a border crossing of 100 subscribers. I'm saying, 100 subscribers? Finally. Well, I'd like to thank all of you who have subscribed, and if you like the channel, recommend it to somebody. I'm trying to grow it a little bit. I have to thank President Sunday for his little invites to go do live chats, which are fun, and who knows, maybe I will do one myself, which, but that's, we'll see. Well, what am I going to do? Just waste a minute talking to you guys? Well, no, I'll say something. Well, what's going on? Well, in Poland, where I live, as you can see, you've got a little bit of a, you can see the center of the city. This is right next to the capital, Ronda de Gaulle. Ronald de Gaulle Circle, right, going into the main street of Nowy Świat, or the New World Street, which goes into, it runs into Krakow Przemyśl, which is the main street where the presidential palace is. Over there, the building right over here is the famous building because it has the Louis Vuitton store. If I can get that, I can get it in the shot down there. The Louis Vuitton store right next door. So all the yuppies go here. But down the road over there is the Parliament building, the same building. So this is the center of the city. It's busy. As you can see, life is returning to normal slowly, although there will be social distancing in Warsaw. Cafes and restaurants and things are open. So life is returning slowly to normal. Schools are opening, but mostly to allow parents to go back to work. Okay. Actual learning is still being done online for the K through 12 kind of education. Universities also have not decided. They decided not to return open classes. So far, they haven't made us. We're going to continue doing online stuff until the end of success. I myself am finishing up my classes because I didn't miss any classes. I kind of transitioned to online teaching rather quickly. So that's what's going on here. So that's Warsaw. We're going back to normal. I would ask you if you have any topics you'd like me to cover about political theory or politics. I would gladly do it. Some I won't do because if I don't feel comfortable doing them or I'm not able to do it. Again, you can just put the comments down there and I'll respond. One thing I'd like to talk to today is about the Nicholas Cummings event. It was a masterpiece of him letting the media make asses out of themselves. Dominic Cummings is who is basically the kind of the thinker behind that in the UK politics, who he led the Leave campaign. I mean, he organized it. He worked with the data mining firms to produce a set to introduce the new politics, the new kind of social politics that relies on information from social media to figure out and to be able to target their messaging to people. What Cummings did and was not. People say it was violating our rights. Nonsense. Every person, when they're using social media, is actually willfully participating in a information gathering activity. I'm sorry, it's you sign the agreements, you join the things up, and what happens here is that as you engage in social media, all your various choices you do. You know, I mean, it's not like it's not spying. What it's doing is it's using the information that you yourself give to the firms. Now, say, oh my God, how could that be used? Well, it would be. It is just the only thing that makes it kind of effective is its live time. It is the first time marketing people are able to get live time feedback, and this revolutionize. In fact, my wife, who is a marketer, my wife who does social marketing as a profession also, and very few people really do it. There's a lot of people who say they do it. She's always laughing when she runs it. She meets them and they just reveal they know nothing about it. One of her remarks was that after Brexit, after the Trump election, Facebook marketing got quantitatively different, better than the marketing that was on Google. In fact, Google is far less useful to basically market things than Facebook is. Now, why? Well, primarily, I suspect it's that Facebook welcomed the use of people, Brexit organizers and the organizations like Cambridge Analytica and the other firm, because what was done was they got something from it. What they got was the know-how to market, the how to build the marketing devices to interface what the information they have with being able to analyze it more effectively, to be able to target people and their what you're doing in your choices and your activities, what you like, what you don't like, your pictures you show, the places you say you go to, all of that kind of shows a pattern of behavior by which that companies would love. Companies need it. I mean, that's how they'll know how to sell you something. That's the whole thing of commerce, is learning how to sell you something. This is one of the myths that people have about marketing advertisements, that it's manipulation of you to buy something you don't want. No. Often, what advertising can do at best is bring to your attention things you didn't know about, but it can't make you buy them. As they say, but they use subliminal messaging. Well, no, even subliminal messaging had very limited effect. It only kind of works on people who are basically culpable and also basically already inclined to do it. Programming and things like this has very limited applicability unless it's through aided with drugs and long-term processing of behavioral response activity. Just normal kind of messaging, programming or signaling it's not going to brainwash us, okay? What it does, but it's powerful in that what this allows marketers to do is target you specifically. Now, this is going to change politics because it gives political campaigns a powerful tool to know where to target their message. And also, they're able to say different things. Blanket marketing is kind of problematic because what one group of people might like, another group of people might not like. And the nature of politics has always been the ability to appeal to multiple groups with different interests. That's the basis. I mean, that's how a successful campaign will happen. A real successful politician able to get a majority. I mean, because if you look at any kind of network of people, their interests are going to be so diverse that it's very hard to get a real majority population vote, or even a large block percentage of people that shares such a strong attachment to a single interest that can be easily defined. Yes, things like race and economic status or socioeconomic status or religion and things like that do create kind of blocks of groups of voters. That's classic politics 101. But to say that that will define them 100%. I mean, again, people will have attachments to various segments that they belong to or are part of how much attachment and how much strength they have to certain things. Their loyalty to their religion, their loyalty to their ethnic group, their loyalty to their family, their loyalty to their employers or the industry they're in. All of these things are going to have variations of degrees of support or attachment to or detachment to. So the marketing strategies of political campaigns is basically getting that information and trying to figure out who to talk to, who is going to be receptive to your ideas. Now, you as a politician may have multiple ideas. Okay, you might have multiple issues or things you'd like. Some of them may be contradictory. If you try a blanket approach, this is what's wrong with the old media. The old media was that it was one size in a newspaper. Everyone can see the paper. So, therefore, you had either we used the word dog whistle, but send out hints or feints of your support for issues that would not necessarily offend other people who might not like it, but may be attracted to your other policies or issues that you wish to endorse. Now, what this kind of marketing does, it allows you to know what the person is. They know, okay, he's into that, but hates that. So I can market my message directly, individually. Now that is the breakthrough of social media marketing. And how that's going to affect campaigns in the future is a very powerful, very thing. And Cummings understood that. I mean, you could say, Barack Obama began it, but what Barack Obama did in 2008 was still kind of amateur hour. It was not really done. The real effects of it was Brexit and the 2016 election. The 2016, but it was Russia. No. Russia, of course, Russia engaged in active measures like Russia always does to kind of discredit us, create problems for the American leadership both in the world and domestically. Of course, they engage in that. But the Russian message, the attempts by Russian bots to improvise it was very pathetic and very bad. It was not actually that useful. It was hardly done. So, in fact, that's what the testimony to Congress revealed, that it was not as effective. There's a very interesting book called Active Measures, which I would recommend people read, even though I think it overstates the continued activity of Moscow. Moscow does it, but it's by no means the same threat that the Soviets were in that sense. And often what they're doing is just try to create chaos and create trouble, not actually, not necessarily having a real same kind of attempt to conquer the world or to impose Soviet rule on hegemonically. Russia has no desire, the Putin regime has no desire to be a world leader. What the Putin regime wants to do is block any attempt by Western states to kind of have a hegemonic power, to kind of limit or constrain its activity or put pressure on it. This is the same thing with China. China may actually have larger ambitions, but China is more likely to implode than able to access it, because China has never had a record of being attempting to go beyond its own region. That's why I think it was always seen as kind of the hermit kingdom. It was the kingdom that kept it unto itself. Instead of conquering the world, it decided to give up commerce and trade. Okay, in the 15th century, 16th century. 15th century, sorry. So, so let's think about this for a second. So therefore, the nature of this information technology is going to be the new politics. We can't do it. It's because why? Because it's there. Oh, we can ban politicians from using it. No, it ain't gonna work. As long as people use social media, that information will be available to people to do it. Now, of course, everyone's going to ban social media, and social media companies could be pressured not to give it. But that's stupid, because if they don't, in other words, the various industries that will help them market them and provide the means to ensure that social media remains free rather than paid for. I mean, one of the reasons why YouTube's in trouble is because as it attempts to censor more and control more, as Google tries to control more, less people use it, and its tool becomes less useful for marketing, and therefore it gets less money from the consumers. Because industries that want to sell things are not going to go rely on Google that much. In fact, my wife says she actually doesn't think Google is at all useful anymore compared to Facebook and other social platforms. So, what can I say about that? I mean, I think that's but this is all about comics. The media the mainstream media elite, the Whitehall elite, is trying to get rid of him, and I think they're terrified of him because he's not a normal. He doesn't really give a damn in that sense. He doesn't play their game. He doesn't dress like a politician. He in many ways, he's like Peter Thiel and Taleb. He understands the operation of this, but he has better political skills. As was seen about how he handled the media. He didn't attack them. His style is completely different. He's not that aggressive. I mean, he can be aggressive. He knows when. But he chose to kind of play a very close game of letting them reveal themselves as the attack dogs that they are. Now, I've been talking too much in my cigar. This is kind of a cigar stream. I know that there's someone else, a famous YouTuber, well more famous than I, who has his cigar streams. And I like to say, but we never see him smoke. And normally, when I do a stream with people or do something, I can't smoke either because I'm inside and the wife won't allow that. But today is a beautiful day and it's a special thing. It's pretty warm outside. It's 20 degrees Celsius here. I can't convert anymore. I talk Celsius now mostly. And therefore I decided to enjoy the evening and have a little chat with you. But again, I think in many ways Cummings' handling of the event was very good. And I think the media kind of looked absurd. It looked, many of the female reporters looked like in their hectoring of them and the kind of questions were just simply looking like Karens, the Karens. But that's here and there. So I think Cummings will be a nice, interesting point to talk about. It's not going to be a long thing. I'll talk about one more issue. I have the Karen phenomenon. The internet, this meme of the Karen, of this middle class, middle-aged, upper suburban woman who is very self-confident, arrogant, borders on Generation X and millennial type by their age group. Now the peak, the end point of it's that bridge group between the Xers and the millennials. Who are hitting their 30s and and acting like it. What's so interesting about why it's an important meme is that it's the kind of hectoring, I know better than you, I'm going to report you. Let me talk to the manager. If I had better talent, I have a great marketing idea. So anyone sees this and steals it, just send me a shortcut from the whatever money you make from the thing, and just send it to my Gmail account. I still have a Gmail account, so people can send money by Gmail to my Gmail. Just send me that. The idea is this. The book title would be called The Art of Being Caring. Okay? Kind of like a preppy's handbook. And all of and the whole book will be proceeds on all the types of behaviors you should do if you're caring. The kind of snitching on your neighbor, the reporting of complaining to the thing anytime there's something's not done right, complaining to the manager, hectoring people who are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. In other words, not minding. Instead of when you see something that really isn't your business, you go make it your business. And every little page would have a picture of a Karen kind of engaged in that kind of behavior. Now, that is a marketing idea. It would be funny, making fun of that, and it would. I think it would sell because I think people would say, "Oh yeah, this is hilarious." I mean, come on, if the Preppy Handbook could sell in the 1980s as much as it did, the Art of Being Karen could sell as well. Again, I think the Karen myth is really combined. I was joking on Facebook about this. I said, we have the meme of a Karen. We also have the meme of a Greta, right? The young little, Greta threw this Swedish little girl, who has that weird looking like Down syndrome face, hectoring all you adults. Oh, how horrible you are. Now, this is a wannabe Karen, okay? This is the state. So I joked to my Facebook friends that Greta's, when they hit middle age, they become Karens, okay? And then I thought about it some more, and I said, but then when they get older, they become Nancy's. I said Nancy Pelosi's with the fake plastic face and the kind of dithering minds, like don't really know where they are that well, and kind of get taken by can't accomplish anything, kind of constantly trying to achieve something, but then outwitted by the younger opponents within her party. But some of my friends said, "Oh, Nancy is too smart," and I go, but I joked. I said, "Well, but then aren't these politicians or a human type becomes kind of symbolic?" Now, Karen was an internet meme. Okay, someone named it. Was there a first Karen? Someone named Karen that did this, or did this is kind of the Karen, that someone who cared too much or was cared about something when they ought not have. In other words, that maybe that how it merged. I don't know. But again, these kind of social memes of social types do play a role in how we signal things. So today's kind of little talk was about the politics of signaling, right? A little bit. I'm signaling our 100th subscriber. We talked about a little bit Dynamite Cummings and the way, the nature of our thing. I talked about a meme and how we signal with that meme and signal messages with that meme. Again, that's good enough for now. I'll keep it short and sweet. Again, I welcome all of you to subscribe and recommend other people to subscribe. And please tell me of what you want to talk about, because I need to do things. Okay. Well, take care and be well.